Coming to Ultraviolette's Mumbai space station launch. Big round of applause for everyone who showed up on this very busy Friday in one of the busiest parts of the town. So, our Mumbai store is 11th experience center of Ultraviolette, and we are very happy that we have Narayan Subramanian, who's our founder, over here. And without further ado, please welcome him on stage, and let's go ahead with the launch today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jatin. Good morning to one and all. So happy, glad that you are here with us. Very important milestone for us. Ultraviolette is finally in Mumbai, and like Jatin said, it is our 11th experience center, including Bangalore. And the fact is, in the last 3.5 months, is where we've scaled from Bangalore being the only city to now being present in 11 cities. So it's been a rapid phase of expansion. And all of our experience centers are 3S facilities, which is sales, service, and spares. Now, I'll get into some more detail and want to give you a run-through of the brand. What is Ultraviolette, what do we stand for, and what has gone into building one of the most advanced electric motorcycles out there, the F77 Mark II. To begin with, at Ultraviolette, our vision was designing in India for the world. And this is where the two of us founders came together back in 2016. I'm Narayan, my co-founder Neeraj, who's currently today in Bangalore, couldn't join us. I come from an automobile design background, was working in Europe, Japan, and India before, my last stint was working in Germany as a designer before coming back to India in 2015. Neeraj comes from an electronics and a computer science background. He was working across companies like Yahoo, NetApp, in the US, and he too came back to India in 2015. We've known each other for a long time. For us, the motivation was the larger companies are slower to take up the disruptive technology aspect when it comes to the mobility space, and that is what we thought was an opportunity. And the other fact is, we've all historically looked to countries like Japan, Italy for the best designed automobiles, for the most performance-oriented automobiles. Isn't it time for India to also have a stake in that conversation? I think these were two strong points of motivation for us, and that led to the genesis of Ultraviolette. And this vision of designing in India for the world, in fact, has turned to reality 8 years down the line, 2016 to today. This was from last month at an event called EICMA in Milan. We formally launched the F77s in Europe. The F77s will be on the roads in Europe starting Q1 2025. And what you see are people with, a lot of anticipation, excitement about the F77s. We also showcased a concept called the Concept X, and we had a race platform showcase called the F99. So this was a 360-degree brand experience from an Ultraviolette standpoint, and I think made a very strong presence in the European markets. And when we talk about designing in India, so we are a design-led company, and the first sketch of the F77 that got frozen into the final form that you soon see today is what is here on the screen. This was sometime in 2018. Our early days, the first 2 years of growth was more into the battery technology, because we knew this was a key part of the EV ecosystem, and solving for the most advanced and power-dense battery systems was the starting point for us. 2 years down the line, we got into the design of the motorcycle as a whole. This is the first sketch, and from here to the final production motorcycle has been a tremendous, exciting, and really fast-paced journey that's taken us 7 years. So, we've also won some marquee awards in the automotive space, which is a testament to the design, the performance of the motorcycle. A big shout out to the media community for recognizing the work that Ultraviolette has done. And some of the statements that we could see as really encouraging signs from the community. And if I were to talk about one aspect, I think somewhere on the screen is point saying the guys working on this seem to know motorcycles. And I think that is important to what we're trying to do, because when it comes to electric vehicles, we've seen a lot of companies try to get a product to market quickly, but are we really understanding what India wants? Are we understanding Indian weather conditions, road conditions, and all the edge cases that one might subject the vehicles through? And that is what we have done. We've taken everything into account from an Indian and a global market perspective before putting the F-77s on the road. And the fact is, not just the two of us founders, the extended teams as well, all of our team here today has each one owned multiples of motorcycles in the past. So very strong passion when it comes to motorcycles. I myself, from my father's 100cc motorcycles to liter class motorcycles, have been on this journey through my career before starting the company as well. And so do most people on the team. So for us, motorcycles represent excitement, and as a brand, we want it to be futuristic and of course the most advanced technology going into it. And a lot of the other functional aspects when it comes to performance, range, etc., we are constantly evolving, and this, as the company progresses, is only going to get higher and higher. This was our launch in Turkey at Istanbul. Tremendous interest from Turkey as well. This is one of the markets we will soon be present in. Turkey, Germany, Spain are the markets we will get to in phase 1. France and Italy are soon to follow. Expanding across India, I think I gave some context to it. Phase 1 was 12 cities, and today marks city number 11, Mumbai, and next week is going to be Delhi. So we are on schedule, plan to get to 12 cities in phase 1 in 2024 by the end of calendar year, and by mid-December we should have accomplished that goal. Now when it comes to the retail formats, we have two formats. Where we are today is a more elaborate and extensive format called the Ultraviolette Space Station. This is, when I talk about an experience format, it's the entire brand experience, from the product to the technology to the futuristic vision of the brand itself. We will also have smaller format stores called the UV Spaceport. These are primarily going to be more touch points and test ride zones. And depending on different geographies and different the way the cities are also planned, I think we should have a combination of space stations and spaceports now scaling forward. Now, coming to expanding the charging infrastructure. So before I get to the charging infra, which is called the UV Supernova, I'd also like to take a moment to talk about how we've solved for range in electric vehicles, because this is a very pertinent question, and more so when it comes to motorcycles. So for us, when we started this endeavor, range had to be solved in 3 ways. One is the product itself having sufficiently enough capacity on the battery pack to have to reduce all sorts of range anxiety. Second aspect is, can you make range availability on the go a possibility? And third, can we have a robust supporting charging infrastructure network kicking in as well? So we've solved for all of these. Today, the F-77 comes with a battery pack of 10.3 kWh, which translates to an IDC range of 323 kilometers. And today, that is the highest range on any electric two-wheeler across all of Asia. That was one. Part 2, making energy availability on the go a possibility. So both of our chargers, we have 2 chargers when you purchase the F-77. You have a standard charger and a boost charger. Both of these are portable. Both of these could be carried with you on a longer ride. And what we've done is the charger just connects to a 3-pin socket. So anywhere that you're on the go, all you need is access to a 3-pin socket in the worst emergency situation to charge the vehicles. And we've had some remarkable stories of our owners having traversed thousands of kilometers with just carrying the charger with them. The third aspect is what I'm coming to, the UV Supernova. You will see 1 unit of it installed outside the store here. These are 6 kilowatt and 12 kilowatt chargers. Essentially, this translates to 20 to 80% in less than 40 minutes of charge. Right? And we are now going to be scaling this intercity. The intent is, with the F-77, you have enough and more range for all urban use cases. This is to enable intercity riding. And we already have multiples of these in the south, connecting from Bangalore to Mysore, Bangalore, Chennai, Bangalore, Tumkur, and the likes. We also have stations coming up between Pune, Mumbai, close to Lonavala as well. So we will now start getting feedback from the community. What are the usual riding routes in and out of the cities that we're going to be present in? and over time have a pan-India network that supports fast highway DC charging. Yes, so now talking about intercity riding, we recently celebrated World Motorcycle Day with an event for our community. And this was a 323 kilometer overnight ride. What was interesting here was, what we noticed is all of our owners today have a very strong passion, of course, for motorcycles and a very deep passion for tech as well. Most of them are early adopters, want the latest in terms of tech. And what we try and do is augment all of our experiences with a core integration of technology. So this was a ride. We collaborated with some experts in the field of drone photography and FPV flying. So what we did was a workshop on how to build your drones, how to do FPV photography, videography, and embedded that within the whole overnight ride experience. Was an experience from the Ultraviolette side, and I think we are going to be investing a lot of effort and time into building the community, and I think we will have a lot of similar experiences happening out of Mumbai as well. And the store format here is also designed for that. The space upstairs is designed to be a community zone, so we will have a lot of engaging activities, including design, tech, and of course motorcycles. And as you saw, this was a ride that had highway riding, city riding, rough roading, off-roading, and a mix of all kinds of terrain. And I think this also goes into how capable the motorcycle platforms are to handle whatever our roads are going to throw at us. Now coming to how capable the motorcycle platforms are, this is an incredible ride by one of our owners from Chennai called Bala. So Bala, a month after purchasing the F-77s, did a solo ride all the way from Chennai to Ladakh. 20 days, 7,000 kilometers. This was in the month of June, peak summer. So Nagpur was about 47 degrees. In the Himalayas, he encountered temperatures as low as -12, -13 degrees. So an overall temperature span of over 60 degrees is what he endured on the vehicles. While we've tested the vehicles for all of these ride conditions, it is a different scenario altogether for somebody totally from the outside to be doing this. And this also goes to show how robust the mechanics, the electronics has been. And this was also done on the Gen 1. Now with Gen 2, we have the Mark 2, we have a lot more advanced features on the motorcycle. And now, all of this is what we've seen on the outside. I'd like to take you on a little journey to talk about what has taken us to get to this point. This is our R&D center in Bangalore. We are a total team of 500 people. In 500, I think about 250 are on R&D, 200 on production, and that's sort of the split. Production is also within Karnataka. It's in a locality called Electronic City, which is on the outskirts of Bangalore. So this is where we have a battery production line and a vehicle assembly line. And what we've done very differently is we've taken time, we've taken 7 years to develop the product and the technology, but we've built all of the core subsystems of the electric powertrain completely in-house. So we own all the IP on the battery tech, the vehicle electronics, the powertrain, the embedded systems, and the battery, for example, I mean, we've spent as much time and energy developing the batteries as the rest of the vehicle. So today the F77 is running, I think, the 7th generation of the battery packs itself, and we've solved for safety in battery packs in a very different way. Our team working on the battery tech comes from a strong aerospace aviation background. So avionics is an interesting field where you cannot have a cascading failure. If something fails, you have multiple systems that can take over. And that's essentially what we've done on the battery systems. We've got 5 levels of safety going from mechanical, thermal, electrical, electronic to software that can kick in from a few seconds to milliseconds to microseconds depending on the criticality of the event. So battery was very important, the core of what we're trying to do. And what we've done differently is the kind of energy and the power density that we're able to provide on the battery packs without encountering any sort of thermal issues whatsoever. A lot of IP on that. The powertrain as well, the controller systems on the vehicle, how they're able to modulate the performance of the vehicle based on what terrain you're riding in, what conditions you're riding in, which in turn translates into the safety systems from a rider perspective, which is the dual channel ABS, 3 levels of traction control. We have an interesting system called the dynamic stability control, which modulates the priority between ABS and regenerative braking. So a lot of this had to be developed for the first time in the field of electric motorcycles. And coming to the production, this is a view into our production facility. This, like I said, based in Electronic City, we have a battery production line and a vehicle assembly line. So the battery is end-to-end made internally at Ultraviolette. The vehicles, of course, are assembled. We have a network of multiple partners across the country for manufacturing of these parts, but we design every single component that goes into the vehicle. Okay, now, sorry. I spoke a lot about the batteries. Here is a video that I'm going to play. I think some of you may have seen it. For the others, it's a view into how capable the systems are. And often we get asked questions about electric vehicles, reliability, how does it handle in monsoon, water, etc. And incidentally, what happened was in the month of September, just after we'd gone live in Pune with the UV space station, I think we all remember September was a terrible monsoon month in Maharashtra. Pune was completely flooded, and our team, in fact, took one of the motorcycles, went on a ride on the outskirts of Pune, and that's the footage that we're going to see here, which answers all questions around safety, reliability of not just Ultraviolette, but if it's engineered well, electric can, of course, be a very, very compelling proposition. capability of what we built